Okay, after all that nonsense last time, let's get back to some sense of normality, shall we? Although I say that, considering who our next person of interest is, Mr. SACHSEN Brandenburg gave us a little bit of a taste on Enos's. And for some reason he has 3. Okay, are they all associated to different endings? He is a very important character, to be fair. Oh man, you're gonna hit me with the I was born into a family of teachers? My goodness. Alright, well, this is getting good already. Let's jump. Let's go. I was born into a family of teachers. We were neither rich nor poor. I myself was neither outstandingly bad nor good. That was who SACHSEN Brandenburg was in the Heights. But I had feelings too. I had at least as much ambition as the average person, and perhaps more. Hard work was going to sate my ambition. Others could betray me, but I would never betray myself. I grew up believing that as long as I didn't give up, I could succeed. But as I grew up, I realized that hard work alone could not change some things. The aristocrats. Birth alone determined who could be one. I would never be. I was never discriminated again, but I hated them. I hated the people who didn't have to work for their position. So I decided to become a police officer. I didn't care about the citizens. I wanted to become a bureaucrat. Our government was nominally democratic, but dominated by the nobles. The nobles appointed other nobles to open positions, and so on. Without being a peer, one could not become a politician. Okay, so that was your motivation, eh? Unable to become a politician, I wanted to rise through the bureaucracy. Everyone else was an idiot. They only cared about justice or swinging a sword around. I knew that if I played cards right, rising all the way was possible. I have to study if I want to make it. I wasn't going to end as a pebble in a quarry. I was going to change my fate. Uh-oh, but then the ticking clock got you too? No, the ticking clock comes for us all in the end! Now I understand why Captain Hook was so terrified of that crocodile. It all makes sense. So SACHSEN was like, you know what? Heck those nobles. They suck. They didn't have to work for their spot. I'm gonna make a change in my destiny. Okay? What's number 2? Ah. So I see that that plan didn't work out. Why am I going to the Hounds? I knew the reason. My partner had been corrupt. He had caused my life plan to be thrown off course. This is the worst. Literally the worst. I sighed and leaned back. It was my second time in the elevator. The first time had been my observation mission after the Rank 2 exams. I didn't remember what I did on the mission except walking around. I'd had pretty bad motion sickness. I don't like it. My eyes snapped open. I listened to the rumbling of the machinery and felt it rocking back and forth. I hated feeling like my innards were being shaken around. The great SACHSEN Brandenburg. Down on his knees with motion sickness of all things. That would have been useful info in other routes. I should have taken sickness medicine. I'd known I would have to take the elevator. No use crying over spilt milk, as they say. Grumbling at my own decision, I waited for the elevator to arrive. And finally, after a particularly large shake, the elevator stopped. I'd been in there so long that my body felt like it was still rocking back and forth. I straightened my clothes, took my baggage, and left. There was nobody outside. I looked around. Nobody was anywhere close.
Is nobody here to take me? I'd been assigned to the Hounds and hadn't expected to be treated well, but... That's really cold. I sighed. That was when I felt something cold against my neck.
Gotcha!
The woman punched me hard. Ow! I turned around.
Dang it, Saya. What the heck? Sorry, I think that was too much.
She laughed at me. The clothes. She was... You must be the commander of the Hounds.
I am. I'm Thea Scone. I'm your superior from now on. Hi there, SACHSEN.
She held out her hand to me. There was a bottle of liquor in it. I was too confused to do or say anything. She only said,
Sorry.
And laughed.
You took your sweet time, so I had to pass it somehow. The bottle kept me company.
I see. I could smell the liquor too. Is she really my superior? I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. But the uniform was real. I have no choice but to obey. I straightened myself and suppressed the urge to complain. I'm SACHSEN Brandenburg. I look forward to working for you. Nice to meet you, Commander.
You too. Let's all get along as fellow exiles.
Get along? I hadn't been sent there to make friends. She noticed how tense I was.
Don't stare like that, pretty boy.
She said and laughed.
Being able to trust each other is good, especially here in the Sanctuary District. We need that trust to make the best of it.
That was all rather meaningless from a person I had only just met. But instead of pointing this out, I nodded. I will do my best not to be a burden. I wanted to be as polite as possible to be on the safe side.
Well, aren't you a defensive one?
She said and shrugged.
I'm sure you'll open up in time as well. We're going to spend a lot of time together. Probably. Perhaps not, I guess.
Which is it?
It could be either. That's the sort of place this is.
She stabbed at my chest with her finger.
They hate us people from the Hounds. Let your guard down and they'll kill you. And it can all happen in the blink of an eye.
Oh.
We need to be able to trust each other if we want to stay alive. Feel like trusting me yet?
I will consider it.
That's cute.
Before I could ask about this, she walked away.
There's a lot to teach you. Don't fall behind, Socks.
Of course. What?
I'll call you that. We need a nickname if we want to get along.
Oh, that's why he doesn't like to be called Socks. Oh no.
Ah.
Weird woman. My motion sickness had been blown away by her behavior. But my head hurts when I think about how she's my superior. If the criminals annoyed me, I could fight them. Naturally, I couldn't strike my superior. I was worried it wouldn't work out.
It worked out too well, unfortunately. Pretty boy. Alright, listen here, pretty boy. I'm calling you Socks, alright? I'm gonna give you a nickname. Everyone calls me by my full name from now on. Otherwise, I will stab you. Understood, sir? Alright. Number 3. Last one. What's this?
Socks. It was an otherwise unremarkable afternoon. My colleague Inez had come with metal banging against metal. He was carrying a sword in his belt and one in his hand. I have a bad feeling about this. I pretended not to hear him. He tapped me on the shoulder. I couldn't ignore him any longer. I turned around and asked him what he wanted. The commander wants you to train with the sword with me. Again. She just doesn't...
I forgot he was terrible with a sword.
I was more of a cerebral person and preferred doing administrative work for the Hounds. Calculating rations and wages, registering new criminals, that sort of thing. The Hounds needed someone like me too among the brawny types. And yet the commander wanted me to train. She was bullying me. It had to be. She had to be bullying me.
Can confirm.
I don't need training. I'm terrible. That's why you need it. I'll never be decent. I lack the talent. I didn't hate working out. I liked it well enough. There was just no point to it in the depths. I'm not good enough with a sword to put it to much use. I'd rather do something where I'm useful. I knew that I was right. You have the potential. I don't. You do. You're left-handed. What is he talking about? Isn't that proof I don't have potential? Inez put a hand on the hilt of his sword and gave me a thoughtful look. I'd rather be left-handed if I had the choice. What? Why? If I'm right-handed and you're left-handed and we face each other, our swords are directly opposite. Inez threw the sheathed sword to me. I pulled it out.
I see, okay. I'm like, who's saying this?
You're used to fighting righties, but I hardly ever fight lefties. It's very unsettling. Left-handed people always have an advantage.
That is interesting. I never considered that before.
So you say, but I've never won against you. Huh. You just need more experience. Even if I start practicing now, I'll never win against a battle-born dork like you.
Wow. Insulting.
Potential, I thought. I'd never thought of being left-handed as potential. It's not often you talk this well. True. I'm not a good talker. That's why I'm contributing with my sword. For my friends in the Hounds. His sense of devotion and justice was weird to me. We were in the Sanctuary District. Nobody was going to thank him for it. Still, I liked being around him. He had something I didn't.
A heart?
30 minutes. Let's go. It was just going to wear me out, I knew. I wasn't going to improve at all. But that was all right. I was happy to hang out and act like we were friends.
Aww. Man, it all went so wrong! SACHSEN! Well, great. Now I've got all the SACHSEN feels because of the backstory. Delightful. I hope you're happy with yourself, game. I don't think there's anything that'll ever give me what glissade feels, and I hope the game doesn't try to. I mean, we did like the love interest, Sansfin. Then the parents, which are like good characters. Then we have... I guess we're getting into the villains now. SACHSEN, Glissade, Cordoa, Warner, Fitzgerald, Weiss. We don't have one for the... whatever his name is. I can't remember the guy who's like directly opposite Elt in the one district. I guess that's why he doesn't have a short story, because his name is so unimportant I've just forgotten it. Ah, well, anyway, guys. I hope you enjoyed SACHSEN short stories. Next time, we'll catch up with Glissade. I'm sure it'll be great. Probably Priscilla nonsense. Hope to see you there.